Hi, today I'm here to talk about a new feature in the Azure Portal, and that's Windows Admin Center. Now, Windows Admin Center has been around for a while and is a great tool for managing your Windows servers. This has now been brought into the Azure Portal, and this is a great tool if you want to go in and manage an individual virtual machine at the guest level. Now, we get all sorts of interesting statistics and information and management capabilities at the hypervisor level through the Azure Portal, but this allows us to dip in and perform guest tasks. Now, you need two things to install this. You can do this through the portal, or you can do this through PowerShell. Now, with PowerShell, there's two lines, and you're basically saying install this extension, the Admin Center extension on your Windows server. The other thing you need to do is to allow network access. Now, this depends on how your Azure environment's laid out. In this demo, I've set up a public IP, which I've restricted to my home broadband connection using a NSG, a network security group, but you can use the private IPs and your existing security arrangements around your corporate network. So once we've installed it, Windows Admin Center becomes available through the portal. Now, to access this, we go to the portal, we go to the virtual machine, and Windows Admin Center is listed on the settings section. When we open this up, we'll get prompted for a username and password. So this is the operating system credentials. This keeps this distinction between your hypervisor management layer and your operating system management layer. So if you have two separate individuals or two separate accounts that manage those two distinct areas of your infrastructure, this preserves that security level. And we click sign in, and this will bring up Windows Admin Center connecting directly to that virtual machine from my desktop, but displaying within the confines of the Azure portal. So now we've got Windows Admin Center up, we get that overview view, but here you can see the CPU and the memory and the network traffic and so on from the guest OS's point of view, from Windows Server's point of view. So this might be different to how it's represented at the Azure level. And it's very important when you're troubleshooting to be able to dip in and go, I'm getting a CPU spike, but because you're now at the OS level, you can see that what that CPU spike is attributed to. You can dip into individual processes and applications and find out what is causing a CPU spike or a high memory usage. Now, previously you could do all this. You could remote desktop into the machine, or you could use Windows Admin Center, but this is enabling us to do it all within the same environment without having to drop out of the Azure portal and go and fire up another tool and then come back in. We can look at the detail around that. We can see what processes are running. We can use Performance Monitor to do in-depth monitoring of that operating system and those applications. We can also install roles and features, or we could check they're installed. If they're missing, we can install them. Again, these are all tools where when you're working at scale, you've probably got another management tool to do this. But when you want to go and troubleshoot that individual virtual machine, this is a great addition to the toolbox. So as well as roles and features, we can also got access to all the regular things, the scheduled tasks, the services. We can look at the individual files on the file system, and we can upload and download and edit files. So if there's a config file that you just want to check has the correct value in it, or the disk has got full and we want to remove some excess files, we no longer have to drop out of the portal and go and do that through a different tool. You've also got the ability from this tool to launch remote desktop directly from here, or PowerShell. So that's Windows Admin Center for Azure. I'd recommend this tool if you do any troubleshooting, because it allows you to dive into the operating system, the Windows Server environment, directly from the portal and check out that CPU usage, those processes, those files, without having to spin up a separate tool. I hope this video has been useful to you, and remember, IT should just work.